Hello and welcome to another episode of the Menswear Style Podcast. I'm your host, Pete Brooker. Today I'm talking to Niklas Oppermann. He is the co-founder and CEO of Friedrik. Niklas and his brother Mattis Oppermann launched their leather goods business after seeing a gap in the market for competitively priced but high quality accessories. Today the brand, coming into its 10th year, merges its Bauhaus and Scandinavian design inspirations with smart functionality using traditional techniques and craftsmanship. And you can check out all the goods over at carlfriedrik.com. We'll leave all the links over on the show notes at menswearstyle.co.uk. But here in the meantime, to tell us about the brand is Niklas Oppermann.
Yeah, short story is I'm a German Swede, grew up in Sweden and found my way a little bit across the world. So I was spending 1.5 years in Shanghai before I moved to London to study and then starting Friedrik.
And whereabouts in London did you study?
It's a business school, used to be called Cass Business School and they renamed to something else. It's City University of London is the easy way to say it.
Okay. And so what age are you when you're coming to London?
I think I must have been 20.
20. So the world's at your feet.
Something like that, yeah.
And was this a good time for you, 20 in London? Was this like where you really wanted to be at that time? Was this a dream come true?
I think so. I came from a small place, basically in the forest in Sweden, and then I took one small step after another, and Shanghai was quite a big step. And since then, I've been in bigger cities, and London was quite overwhelming at the beginning, but it's been great.
But so we were just talking offline, you have offices here and one in Barcelona, right?
That's right, yeah.
So how often are you in London?
I'm based in London. So
based?
Most of my time is there, and then a lot of time in Barcelona and some other places every now and then.
Okay, great. And are you enjoying your time here in London, Niklas? I'm curious because I know Sweden is probably where your heart's at, but then Barcelona is where the sun's at most of the year. How do you find yourself between these places, and how does your mood swing between these places?
It's a great question. I think London has so much to offer that, I think after 12 or 13 years here, or there, I'm not there at the moment, you still have new things that you get surprised by, and living in different neighborhoods they are all completely different. You having been in many places, there's very few places where in one hand you have a newness, a lot of energy in different directions, and a place that kind of feels like your home, basically.
Yeah, I had an interesting experience when I moved to London probably about 6 years ago, because I was in a band in my 20s and East London was where I wanted to go. I was in East London all the time, up Brick Lane, playing all the venues. It had so much vibrancy and opportunity for people like me and the creatives of the world. And when I came to London finally in my 40s, I realized I was 20 years too late to really to enjoy it, because I'm ready for my slippers and my cocoa by 10:30. I'm not really interested in going out on a Monday night and enjoying the frivolities. But
I might have come at a good time, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You hit it at the peak.
Maybe.
Well, perhaps we can talk a little bit about the brand. So Friedrik, how do you explain Friedrik to your friends?
I think the simplest way is that Friedrik is a leather and travel goods brand, and making basically everything from small leather goods, wallets, and tech accessories to briefcases, weekend bags, and now since 2 years, luggage as well. And what we're trying to do, I think, is to build a big global luxury brand. And we are trying to do that we're trying to reimagine a little bit what a luxury brand can and should be. And the main thing with that is that we have I guess in a way, quite an opinionated and strong focus on intelligent design, very, very high quality, and basically an idea that we want, basically a quality and an idea that we want to be close to customers, and we want to serve them in a, let's say, very we want to basically obsess about serving our customers in the best way. And
nice.
yeah, and so I think all luxury brands would say that they do good quality and nice design, and maybe our design is maybe simpler, more pared back, but we focus a lot on doing the right products for the right customers. So we think a lot about, what is the use case of this type of bag? How can we, improve on that? And then we ask customers over and over again, what can we do better? What can we do better? Until we hopefully make things as good as they can be.
That's nice. I like the idea of being obsessed over as a customer or a consumer.
Yeah,
it's nice.
I mean, it's a fun thing, actually.
Yeah. Well, so I mean, the brand is coming into, I think it's 10th year now, the 10th anniversary next year.
Yeah, it will be roughly around the year end, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
And so yes, it's been quite a while now, quite a journey.
And when we talk about it was founded with your brother, is that right as well?
Exactly. So yeah, Mattis is the other co-founder, my brother, and yeah, we started in a very, very small place together. So we've been through thick and thin.
So what was the gem of the idea like 10 years ago? You guys are sitting down, are you kind of coming up with the same problems in life, that there's not enough decent luxury goods to serve the consumer that travels? How is it written down on the napkin in the pub?
Well, it sadly wasn't written down on a napkin in a pub. But I think it did not. It started a little bit earlier, I would say. So I guess going back really early, it is coming from our parents. Basically had two clear directions. Let's say we had a mom who was an art teacher, focusing a lot, or we were drawing a lot with crayons as kids, and always doing creative projects. And we had an engineer as our dad, who that we went into the garage with and built things. And so that idea of making things and also thinking about aesthetics was quite from childhood days. Right. Then that turned into an interest in clothing and fashion. And in my time in Shanghai, I was quite a lot on the weekends going to these tailor markets where, as a student before going to university, it's almost like a gold mine that you can, for very little money, create as much clothing as you want, and you can design everything yourself. So there was a lot of experimentation with different types of clothing, making jackets, making shirts, making pants. And so that basically gave us a lot of confidence in that you can make things yourself. But that was just for us. And then fast forward a couple of years, I was going to buy Mattis a laptop sleeve as a Christmas present. He had just gotten a fancy new MacBook, and that needed to have some sort of nice cover, I thought. And then I looked through all the shops, both mid-range and luxury, and couldn't really find something. So I bought something from a brand we can't mention at the moment, but it wasn't well received. And so it was basically too embellished, a little bit of a weird color, and it didn't feel like it was really working well. And so then we were thinking about, okay, let's return this. Let's, weird, because I did my best to look for something. So I was pretty sure we wouldn't find anything better to replace it. And then we started thinking, hey, this is maybe something we can be doing, because we have made some contacts, we've done things before. Maybe the step from here to launching that product isn't too big. And that was basically then throughout our university time. And then we contacted a factory, made some samples, then life went on.
Oh,
But as we then went to lectures or places, people would ask us, "Where is this bag from?" and where can I buy it? And we just say, "Yeah, that's something we made." And it wasn't too often that people would ask me or my brother where this and that was coming from. So that felt like a very strong indicator that maybe there is something here. Maybe this is a pretty good product. And that basically was then, okay, let's pull the trigger, launch a brand. And that's where we started.
that's amazing. That's really cool. And it's kind of you're doing the soft market research yourself because you're going out, getting the products, seeing what the quality is like, and then you're getting just consumer feedback right on the spot with people complimenting you on the goods. So
Yeah.
I heard that you had so around about 10 years ago, you had a modest investment of around 4K.
Yeah.
If that's right, can you expand on that a little bit and tell me what the secret is, or what you think the secret is from turning a 4K investment into a successful business over the last decade?
Maybe I don't know. Yeah, frugality. Well, frugality, a little bit of hustle. So I mean, yeah, I think it started with 4,000 of our own savings and maybe another 2,000 from our dad. And that was probably just about to order the first batch of products. So we did not have any funds to build a website or hire a photographer or do marketing. So we basically and we were also that this was at the minimum what you could order. This is already after a whole bunch of negotiations. So the money goes to ordering the products. We have to figure out the rest ourselves. And the rest is us putting together a website. It's had been an interest of mine to learn coding. So with a bit of help, that got done. Mattis had a photography studio at his university, so we could borrow that, take pictures ourselves. I think Mattis was also the first model at the company. So really, it was doing almost everything yourselves. And then once we had, let's say, products and a website that has images, so basically now you have everything that you need to offer a product and a brand to the world. And from there, we basically contacted stores that we wanted to see if they could carry our products.
Wow. I do love the story of when I was having this conversation with my girlfriend the other day, when it's your money. So, like, for example, when you save up money and you go out and buy your first car, you really look after that car, right? You polish it like every other week. You make sure that you don't reverse on the curbs, and it's kind of a bit of a precious thing because you put the money in and it's your baby. As opposed to maybe if you're someone that's had your dad buy your car or someone else has given you something, you kind of treat it like a squatter in a flat. It's not something that you take enough pride over because you haven't rolled up your sleeves to actually achieve what you wanted to get. And a bit like when you start a business, if you've got just such a minimum investment, you can really have your own sovereignty over something like this. It's a bootstrap company. You can find a photography studio. You can be your own model. You can learn coding. I mean, people can do it. You've proven it can be done. Yeah, if you have like a crowd raiser of a fundraiser of like 50K, then you might be a little bit more spendthrift and perhaps just pay for things that you could normally do yourself, right?
I mean, there's pros and cons with all of the approaches. We with let's say a larger starting capital, you could potentially move faster. That can lead you to faster success. It can also lead you to exactly like you say, is it thrifty the right word?
Yeah, spendthrift, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So thrifty is the opposite.
I
think. Yeah.
Thrifty is what you did.
Yeah, exactly. So exactly. So you can then take things too liberally and spend a huge amount on a fashion campaign or a shoot, and which in the end you might not know when you're starting out what the result and effect will be. So I think throughout time there's been something that we've held on to do a lot ourselves. Almost everything to date that we do is in-house. Doesn't mean that Mattis and I are doing it anymore, but it means that we try to build the team that is super good at what they do and can create these projects. And of course, that it really depends on what we're talking about, but many of shoots are art directed and conceptualized by ourselves, and of course then we work with partner to produce it. But yeah, I mean that's still a philosophy we have.
Yeah, love it. You mentioned the factories that you first started working with and getting some samples. Are these the same factories that you're working with now, with the ones that you started 10 years ago?
No. So we've changed a whole bunch of things throughout over the years. So the factories themselves are different. And yeah, so we started out as a wholesale company selling 2 stores. Then we got we cut to a point where we wanted to focus on one or the other, wholesale or direct to consumer. And we thought, again, like I mentioned before, the closeness to customers was or is something that's really important to us. But I guess that came naturally at the time. So we wanted to go direct to consumer, and we have been that since 2014 until basically this year, where we are now launching with a few stores that we're partnering with to offer our luggage range. And that, I think, comes from when you are 2 people, there is a need to focus and there is a need to think about, where can we put our energy? And I think we did a good thing in that we were able to be laser focused for such a long time. And now that the brand, the products, and our offering, we know who it resonates with, and now there is an opportunity to reach more customers at the right partners. And there is always the question of do you serve customers directly online? And of course, also many customers want to see, touch, and feel the product. So it is a little bit opposing forces that you have to manage.
Yeah, like a high wire act sometimes, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think our approach is that we are super selective with who we work with. And I think we are going to we're visiting our stores every week. So that to make sure that, everyone that is presenting the brand, everyone who is, a spokesperson for the brand, understands what we're about and can really help the customer the same way that we try to do it directly.
That's nice. That's cool. Whereabouts? So I'm in London, you're in London. Whereabouts can people in London, for example, find some of the product from Carl Friedrik?
Yeah, so it's at Case Luggage, which is a luggage store for premium luggage in Heathrow, several terminals, Piccadilly, and in Harrods in Knightsbridge, but I think that's known to most people.
Nice. Well, I'll be in Heathrow tomorrow, like I was telling you offline, so I'll be scouting.
Right, come by. So yeah, Case Luggage.
Yeah, I will definitely. Well, we have talking about new collections. We've got the new Rover collection that's just coming out, or is out already?
It's out already.
It is out already.
Yeah.
Talk to me a bit about this. What makes this collection so unique to you guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's a long time in the works, so that's unique in itself. So it's been refined quite a bit and will still be refined more. But yeah, it's a collection that I think in our design process, we think about who is our customer, how can we serve this customer better, and also who do we want to serve that we might not be serving well yet. And we are coming from a very elegant briefcases world, let's say, and we wanted to see how we can serve a slightly more casual audience that is slightly more travel oriented, or slightly more products that are more travel oriented. So a little bit more casual, traveling a lot, still very, minding, or how do you say, caring a lot about their appearance and wanting to have really nice things. So, it felt like there is an area that you either go nylon backpack, or, you go something like a performance backpack,
Okay.
or you go something really luxury. The middle ground still felt a bit not addressed in well enough in our view. So that's sort of where we're coming from, and so that's what we're trying to address with this collection. And yeah, that's the Rover collection. It's 5 products, 2 weekend bags, 2 backpacks, and a tote bag. And the way we've gone about to design it and what it is basically sort of travel oriented products, more inspired partially by performance or sports products. So that there's a roll top backpack, which almost comes from, I think traditionally it's like a hiking or utility backpack. And so having that usability, but trying to bring that to our, let's say, luxury space. And that's the way we've cracked it, is to use really nice materials that both work as a soft and casual way, and also are really elegant, nice to the touch, and look great. And that's the main material we chose there is nubuck, and that is it originally, or in many ways, when you say nubuck, you think of something like hiking boots or something like that. But this is more like a suede-like material. So on the surface, it looks like suede, but it is a lot more durable and strong, because it's not the back side of the leather, it's the front side that has been brushed a bit. So it's like a slightly more rigid suede, you could say.
Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah, I'm looking at it now, and
nice.
People can. Well, I eyed the products before, but just making sure I've got the wrong one. And people can have a look on the Instagram, Carl Friedrik. You're on Instagram, and obviously the website where you can shop is coldfriedrich.com.
Exactly, yeah.
But yeah, I was actually just saying to the missus the other day that my rucksack is, because I'm more of a rucksack kind of guy when I walk around. I think it's just easier to have laptops and a few other things. You mentioned hiking there. We were hiking the other day, and I just felt like rucksacks, they get beaten up a little bit. But there's not anything that's really that elegant out there as a rucksack. not that I've managed to find that, and I've not really seen it on other people on my commute either. So I'm always eyeing up what people are carrying.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there is the range of really elegant backpacks, with really, let's say, very blingy hardware and very, let's say, shiny or super perfectly polished leather. And so those exist. I think those could be classed more as fashion backpacks, let's say. So they often lose a lot of their utilitarian function. And that's exactly what we're trying to address. So, both having the functionality of something inspired by, performance or casual products, but really trying to make it super elegant. The materials is unique by itself. Then we have those details that are in this smooth, it's called vaqueta leather. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that.
And no, talk me through that.
So that's I think it's an Italian leather. It's what you call a vegetable tanned leather, which means that it's been tanned in a natural, basically using natural tannins like bark, and the surface is really natural. So it's almost a little bit translucent, very smooth, and a little bit oily to the touch almost. And then combining that smooth, very nice, elegant leather together with a little bit more matte nubuck creates a really nice combination.
Yeah. Oh, these are winners. I can't wait to check these out tomorrow.
Yeah,
I'm
nice.
going to go rifling through them. Well, Niklas, I was going to ask you just a couple more questions because I know you got a hard out and life to get on with. We're recording this after hours during the day. But there's the creators collection. I mean, you were talking about how you're really obsessive about your customer, but this is kind of that exclusive club where you get to interact with your customers and they also get to give you the feedback. Perhaps you can just talk a little bit about that and how consumers can get involved with the brand directly.
Yeah, so that's part of what I mentioned with a long road to this collection. So the Creators Club was us thinking, how can we? So we used to do a lot of, or we still do, surveys and let's say call customers up and ask them what they think. And we were wondering, what can we do more to engage customers and to get more of their input? And so the idea, that was the sort of the idea for the Creators Club. And what we then did is basically offer a small group of customers to beta test essentially the Rover collection. So we would have samples of these products and we would send them out to the customers and then ask for their feedback. And that then helped to develop the collection.
Awesome. Great. Well, it sounds like a real community, which I
mean, it is
must be fun to be a part of. Yeah.
Yeah. In terms of it, you also asked about how can people be a part of it. We're probably, so that there is, you have to apply and you know, has been luckily more applications than slots, which is, you know, we're super grateful for that.
There's a waiting list.
There's a little waiting list, yeah. And so, yeah, so the applications open every now and then when we have new collections in the works. So there is a page where you can, if you search Carl Friedrik Creators Club, you can find it and register your interest.
All right. Niklas, I want to apply, but I also want to have a club tie so that I know that I'm in the club, basically. A bit like if you get applied to
I think we need to work on the tie as well.
Yeah,
maybe that can be the next product in the Creators Club.
We need one out of the Bicotti leather, you know, with the
emblem. Yeah, we'll have all our customers trying out the tie and perfecting it.
I'm telling you, the club ties are the way to go. The way to go.
Nice.
How do you get on with? So I've got two older brothers. Is Mattis younger or older than you?
I mean, at this point, we're basically the same age, but okay. Yeah, technically he's 1.5 years younger.
And how is the dynamic now, the working relationship?
It's great. You know, I think as you get older, things get easier and things get better, and you get to know each other better and better. So there's definitely been more intense periods than others, but you know, the last, I don't know, X number of years, it's been a blessing, basically. You know, we work very, very, maybe it's a little bit of the German side, like very efficiently together. Mm-hmm. Quick calls. We work by consensus. So, you know, we try to work problems out, but we have our own, you know, domains that we're responsible for. Mattis is responsible for everything product-based, so product development, supply chain, and product development includes design, and then basically getting the product to the customer. And I'm more responsible for the pixels, you could say.
Nice. Do you ever get to lock horns on anything? I mean, as there's two of you, who gets like the final say if there is a 50-50 split?
I mean, it has been consensus, to be honest. So mm-hmm. We try to hash it out. Yeah. I don't think there's. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we have each our own area. So depending on what the question is, the person who is in charge of that area has the final say.
Great. Well, we'll have to get his final say on the ties, right?
Yeah, let's get it.
And then get the Creators Club to also chip in with that boat as well. I digress. Niklas, wonderful talking to you, and thanks for walking me through the products and the history of the brand. Found it fascinating. Congratulations on getting to the 10-year landmark. I know that's on the horizon, and the collections look fantastic. I'll be eyeballing them at Heathrow tomorrow morning. So
Thank you so much. It's been real nice chatting.
It has.
And speak soon.
You've been listening to the Menswear Style podcast. Be sure to head over to menswearstyle.co.uk for more menswear content and email info@menswearstyle.co.uk if you would like to be a future guest on the show. Finally, please help support the show by leaving a review on iTunes or wherever you're listening to this podcast. Until next time.